So we've been in New Zealand for a little over 2 weeks, and we have done 9 schools and 1 university, and I just wanted to give an overall general picture of what the schools are like here. So in most of the schools, they start at about 8, and then at about 10 or 11 you have what they call morning tea. And it's where everyone in the school stops and drinks tea for about 30 minutes, or tea or coffee, whatever you prefer. And the students, they go and they have their packed lunches. Everyone packs, and you can buy food at school, but most of the kids that I've seen have all packed their lunches, and they pack a snack for morning tea, but after their snack, they're free to run around and play. So after about 2 hours of school, they get their first break. And they go back to school for about 2 more hours, and then you have your lunch break. And lunch is usually about an hour long. So they eat their lunches really fast, and then they all go play for the rest of the time. So one thing that I've definitely noticed here is how active the kids are. All the schools have swimming pools, and all the students have to go to swimming class twice a week. And then they have huge fields, and each school has like 3 playgrounds, and all the kids are running around being really active. Another thing about New Zealand schools is that they are year-round. They get 2 weeks off every once in a while, but during Christmas they have a month off, and their December here is really warm, so they have nice weather, and they all go swimming and do outdoor activities in Christmas, which is really interesting. Another thing is all the students wear uniforms. Out of the 9 schools that we've been to, only one of them hasn't required uniforms, but most of the schools here, the students will be in uniforms. Some of the New Zealand customs, it's just so laid back here, and people just are barefoot all the time. Like if you go in the store, they'll be barefoot. I've seen people without shirts in stores. They definitely don't have the no shirt, no shoes policy. So outside of all the classrooms usually is a place for kids to hang up their backpacks and places for them to put their shoes in. One of the most interesting things that I found in New Zealand is their new entrant class. In New Zealand, they go by years instead of grades. So, for example, year 6 is grade 5. They end at year 13, which would be grade 12 for us. And what they call year 0 is their new entrance. And what happens is every kid starts on or near their 5th birthday. So the students who start when school's out all start on the first day of school. But then throughout the year, new kids will pop into your class. So if you're that new entrance teacher, you might have 2 kids come on one day, you might have no kids come for a week, so you really don't know until a kid shows up in your class if you're going to have them, and that can cause a lot of problems for a teacher. So it's interesting. We've been in a lot of new entrant classes and been able to see how the teachers deal with those students, and it's really interesting, and they all think it's weird that we start all our kids at the same time, and they're really amazed by that. But I think it's really interesting that on your 5th birthday you just go to school, and if you're that teacher, you really don't know who's coming that day.